Welcome to Inclusive Gathering Birmingham. My name is Danielle, and my pronouns are she, her. I've got a little sidekick today, Josie. You'll see more of her later. Today we're talking about joy, and if you've been kind of paying attention, we made a few changes to our program for this summer, just recognizing that this continues to be a bizarre time, and just needing to kind of sink ourselves into some of the things that are really important to remind ourselves of. And one of them is that joy in the midst of suffering is possible, but it maybe doesn't look like what we always expect when we hear the word joy. So Rachel's going to be sharing about that in a little while. But just if you've never been with us before, we've been meeting together online every week at 4 p.m. throughout this lockdown time. And we've recently started to meet in person on the first Sunday of each month as just a starting point. And we'll see where we go in the autumn. But wherever you are, you're really welcome to be with us. And we always say we're a learning community. And for us, that means that you're welcome to be with us just as you are right now. And whatever you think about God and faith, it's okay to bring all of those thoughts and questions and ideas and thinking and whatever to this space. And whether you're gay or straight, whatever your gender identity, whatever your race or ethnicity, whatever educational background you've got, or social class, or anything really, you're really welcome to be with us. And we believe that difference and coming from different perspectives and even disagreeing with each other is a really healthy part of a spiritually full, meaningful life. So I'm going to hand over now for some music.
You're the resurrection that we've waited for. You buried the night, you came with the morning. You're the King of heaven, praise is yours. The longer the quiet, the louder the chorus. Oh, oh, oh. We will sing a new song, 'cause death is dead and gone with the winner. We will sing a new song, let hallelujahs flow like a river. We're coming back to life, reaching towards the light. Your love is like springtime. You're the living water, God, we thirst for you. The dry and the barren, the flower and bloom. You're the sun that's shining, you restore my soul. The deeper you call us, oh, the deeper we'll go. We will sing a new song, 'cause death is dead and gone with the winner. We will sing a new song, let hallelujahs flow like a river. We're coming back to life, reaching towards the light. Your love is my springtime.
Hi, my name's Joel, and every week we have a section of our gathering called A Question for Sharing, where we get to know each other more through a question just provokes us. And this week, the question for sharing is, what's the first thing that pops into your head when you hear the word joy? So I'm going to give my answer, and then if you wish, you can give your answer on Facebook Live or YouTube. Well, with joy, it's weird because I actually host a little podcast called Unknown Joys, where I ask other people about the things that they're joyful about, the things that they find sparks joy within them. So now it's my turn. The first thing that pops into mind when I hear the word joy is this idea of togetherness, that joy is often sparked in that space between people when they connect or they have this wonderful moment, that it's kind of like a shared moment of happiness or a shared moment of deep connection, a shared meal that was particularly good, a shared moment where something really funny or fun happened. It's a shared thing. And in the last few years, the person who's given me a lot of joy is my daughter, Josie. I'm sitting in her room right now. She's really funny, really smart, and is constantly asking me to dance, to play, and she finds happiness and joy in really simple things. And when we announce that we're going to go swim in a paddling pool, for example, she gets all excited about it, and that comes to mind.
Hi, my name is Faith, and my pronouns are she, her. Today I'm going to be sharing a prayer with you that was written by Sarah Bessie. If you're a person who prays, you are welcome to pray these words along with me. Otherwise, you can just let the words wash over you. I pray that you would experience the weirdness of divine love in ways that leave you disoriented. I pray that you would be caught off guard when God meets you outside of the boxes you've constructed and yet remains in the places you vacated. I pray you will bless the box you once needed for God and that you will treat it tenderly even as you leave it behind. Amen.
Hi people, my name's Rachel and I'm part of our community here at Inclusive Gathering. Seagulls are welcome. I'm very excited to be talking about joy today. It's a bit overwhelming. It's almost like, what are all your thoughts on love? So it's just going to be probably a bit of a ramble of just a few points that stuck out to me. And I think that the context for me with joy is I was brought up that there are these two different concepts. There's happiness, which is kind of a pleasurable feeling related to what's going on around you, which is maybe bad and maybe selfish. And then there's this serious, very godly, nothing to do with your circumstances, joy. And almost like a spiritual duty to conjure up joy. And so with it, this burden, if I'm someone who is spiritual and loves Jesus, then I'd better be joyful about things. And I think that disconnect is really sad. And hopefully just some of these thoughts are things that in my slow journey into joy, I have been amazed by, encouraged by. But I think it is important to, that it's actually difficult because we're in this culture, either just everyone around us, but I think often particularly the church, that is not comfortable about a joy that's feelings. So I think, had I been honest about my feelings, they were so connected to what other people were thinking about me, what people were expecting of me, things people did to me that were not very nice, and also just the pain of the world around us and some of the oppression and injustice that you can just see on a daily basis. And there's this kind of raw, I think pain of just being human sometimes. And so what I was trying to do was just cover all of that up. Cover up that it was painful that people had said, oh, you can't help with youth work because you're gay, or you can't speak because you're a woman, and just overall feeling inadequate, and that I should try harder and be better. And that was mainly my spiritual pursuit, and joy was kind of just another one of those things. And then I went to this very interesting, I had an absurd experience years ago. I think I've talked about it before with you guys, which was a healing conference, and I wanted to go up to the front to receive the gift of healing, and I was unable to move from my seat because I was suddenly just overwhelmed with joy, and I could not stop laughing, and just this lightness just kept coming, and just a silliness about things, and it lasted about 2 or 3 hours, and my poor friend's wringing her hands, this crazy woman just like almost wetting herself laughing on the floor. And in that strange experience, I felt God say, a cheerful heart is good medicine. So it's good for healing, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. And it is true that all of those things that people say, the things that happen to us, they are very real, and they affect us, and they dry up our bones. And so where does the cheerful heart come from? How do you have both those things? And in that experience, it was of God almost sharing her joy. And it wasn't just a random cosmic level joy about a plan. It was a joy about me. And we have a joyful God who primarily enjoys us. And so one of the verses I really love is from Zephaniah 3. The Lord your God is in your midst, a victorious warrior. She will exult over you with joy. She will be quiet in their love. She will rejoice over you with shouts of joy. And I think there's something about the warrior as well. So it's not just that God thinks you make them happy, but also will do something about it. So, is a fierce defender of people who've been hurt and oppressed in any way. It's an active joy. By enjoying us is also there for us in a real way. And there's this verse in Isaiah 42, which also is a reference about Jesus in Matthew, but it says, a bruised reed he will not break, and a dimly burning wick He will not extinguish. He will faithfully bring forth justice. He will not be disheartened or crushed until he has established justice in the earth. And, that's justice for our situations, reconciliation for our wounds, and for all the pain we see around us. And so I think, there is a seriousness about this joy, because God is serious about enjoying us, serious about being there for us. And so I think it's about truth. There's what people want to heap on us. There's these constructs that we live in that make us feel bad about ourselves. We don't go around thinking, I'm so enjoyable. But we should, because actually that's what's true. And so in Galatians, when it's talking about the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, again, it's not that spiritual duty to make those things. It's that the Spirit is about truth. And the truth is we're so loved. And the truth is we are so enjoyed. And so I think for me, there's joy has to start with learning to counteract this culture that we're in, that says that we're not enough, that says that we should try harder, where somehow our value is in how useful we are. Joy has nothing to do with those things. It's like an abandon to the joy that you are already. And in Hebrews 12, it talks about Jesus enduring the cross, but for the joy set before him, and he's scorning the shame. And I just think that that's, immense suffering, but there's the joy, which is us, and scorning the shame, which is the lie, that mostly I've lived in huge amounts of shame. So what does that mean? Learning just bit by bit to counteract that, abiding in this deep pool of God's joy in us, and his promise to defend the broken and bring justice. So we can bring all of our pain about that too, because it's real and it matters. And I think we all are different. The way we're wired for joy, because we are all created for joy. I remember seeing a mouse on an apple tree, finding this twig that was particularly flicky. And it would run up the tree, slide down the flicky twig, and it would ping it off into the air, and it would just do it again and again and again. I was like, this mouse is just having the best day. It's found this roller coaster ride. And there is just something about where are these moments around us that are purely for our enjoyment, and to not feel ashamed of just cultivating those. So for me, definitely being in nature, dancing, just kind of being a fool with music, painting as much like a child as I possibly can. They're kind of acts of not worrying what other people think, or you just think, I am so enjoyed, so I'm just gonna have fun. So I suppose it's an invitation to spend time bringing to God the pain and the injustices and the things that hurt, and asking for our joy wires to be renewed, so we can tap into that truth, the deep pool of God's infinite joy over us, under us, around us. And I think it's as we liberate more joy in our lives and do things just for the joy of them, it's like a rebellious act. Makes people uncomfortable. And it's like, well, how have you earned the right to do this silly fun thing? Or and so we absolutely are delighted in and get to live that out. So here is my practice. I made a colour doodle of, I think this is the deep pool of joy, and then you can still bring all your emotions and all your wildness, but it's just, you can just tap in. It's always there. So sending you much love and joy.
I've got the joy of the Lord down in my soul, down in my soul. And I've got the joy of the Lord down in my soul, down in my soul. It's so good, it's so good, I won't let it go. And it's so good, it's so good, won't let it go. Y'all like that? Help me out. Say that I've got the joy of the Lord down in my soul, down in my soul, down in my soul, down in my soul. Help me out, right? And I've got the joy of the Lord down in my soul, down in my soul. Said I got it way down in my soul, down in my soul. Hey, and it's so good, it's so good, I won't let it go. And it's so good, it's so good. What about yeah, real quiet. I've got the peace of the Lord that I can't explain. I can't explain. In spite of my circumstances, I can't explain it. I can't explain. Oh, oh, hey. And I've got the peace of the Lord that I can't explain. I can't explain. Ooh, I can't explain it. I can't explain. Yeah, and it's so good. It's so good. I won't let it go. Yeah, and it's so good. It's so good. I won't let it go. I won't let it go. I won't let it go. I got the joy of the Lord down in my soul.
since we're talking about joy today, I thought I'd do the love feast with one of the most joyful people that I know. Is that you? You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Josie.
Okay, come sit back
I
down.
love you. I love you.
Well, there you go. So we're in Moseley Park having our picnic. Josie's just finished school.
Yeah?
Yep. And what do we...
And I'll have some time with Mom and then from the London beach after fun.
Very good, very good. Can I ask you, so we're talking about joy
Yeah.
today. What does the word joy mean to you? I haven't prepped her.
I don't know.
What do you think of when you hear the word joy? Is there any time of year you think of?
My birthday.
Yeah. Does that make you pretty happy?
Yeah.
Well, when we do, you've done a couple of these with me before, but when we do these love feasts online, it's been to remember the joy that lots of us found in eating together when we've been together in person. And I'm really excited because next week we're going to do a picnic, hopefully if it's not raining, with everybody. And we're going to be able to bring our own picnics and actually sit and eat together outside, for those of us who are able to join. And
As a family.
as a family, and then also our friends from Inclusive Gathering, some of them are going to be there as well. And there's going to be some nice cakes. Do you remember the cakes that we used to have at church? Do you remember the cakes?
No.
No? Oh gosh, it's been a long time. Well, can I read a little bit of one of the stories that was in the Bible about Jesus' friends? Because one of the things that Jesus... Are you listening? One of the things that Jesus' friends used to do was eat together. And right after Jesus left the earth, his friends gathered, and this is what it says in the book of Acts, which is the Acts of Jesus' friends, chapter 2. It says, all the believers devoted themselves to the apostles' teachings and to fellowship and to sharing meals and to prayer. A deep sense of awe came over them, and they performed many miraculous signs and wonders. They all met together in one place and shared everything they had. They sold their property and possessions and shared the money with those in need. They worshiped together at the temple each day and met in homes for the Lord's Supper and shared their meals with great joy and generosity, all while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day the Lord added to their fellowship those who were being saved.
Mama,
So, yeah,
where's the fourth today?
don't worry, we'll find it in a second. So there's something really joyful about eating together, isn't there?
Yeah, I love eating melon.
What's your favorite food?
I love eating different kinds of melon.
And do you like when we have food with other people?
No.
No. Okay, I shouldn't ask a silly question. Anyway, so we're just going to say thank you to God for our lunch, and then, so you're having melon. What else are you having for lunch? Chips
Chips.
and fruit shoot, and I've got a sandwich and some Diet Coke, as usual. So maybe if you want to, you can share in the chat what you're eating, and we're just going to get on with eating our lunch.
Yeah.
Say see you soon.
And you can have a picnic like us if you want.
Very good.
You are the light, song of my life. You always lead. You are the voice inside. and I am unfulfilled without full communion. And I was made by you, and I was made for you, and I am unfulfilled without full communion. Since your love's got a hold on me, since your love's got a hold on me, I'm a new creation, I'm forever changed. Since your love's got a hold on me, since your love's got a hold on me, I'm a new creation, I'm forever changed. Since your love got a hold on, since your love got a hold on, I'm a new creation, I'm forever changed. I was made by you, and I was made for you, and I am unfulfilled without full communion. I was made, and I was made by you, and I was made for you, and I am unfulfilled without full communion. In you is all I need. You're my breath, you're my life, you're my everything. In you is all I need. You're my breath, you're my life, you're my everything. In you is all I need. You're my breath, you're my life, you're my everything. In you is all I need. You're my breath, you're my life, you're my everything. In you is all I need. You're my breath, you're my life, you're my everything. In you is all I need. You're my breath, you're my life, you're my everything.
So thanks for joining us today. Some of us will be meeting up at 5:15 on Zoom for just a really casual, called it like a pub catch up. So you're really welcome to join us. We'll share the link for that. This summer, like this August, is going to look a bit different for us. I've mentioned this a few times already, but next week we're going to be from 2 to 6 at Edgbaston Quaker Meeting House and in the beautiful garden there. And bring your own picnic, and there'll be an online. Well, there'll be a worship music session, a really casual one with some music from Allie, a poem from David, and Joel's gonna do some rapping, and that will be outside. And then we're also going to be live streaming that from 4 to 5 for those who can't be with us in person. And if it's raining, there is space for us to be inside. And I'm going to be publishing this week some of the kind of COVID safety stuff that we've thought through, so that hopefully everyone will feel secure to come if they'd like to come. Then the rest of the month, we're doing these relaxed Sundays where there's going to be a local picnic somewhere in the city from 12 to 2. There's details of that in our Connecting community group. There'll be a pre-recorded short reflection from someone in the community talking about a bit of scripture that really resonates with them. That will be at 4 o'clock, but it'll be nice and short, and you can watch it any time. And then we're going to have a 5:15 Zoom every week as well. It will be really casual. And just want to say, everyone's kind of, all over the place in August, so feel free to just tune in to whatever, or come along to whatever is life-giving to you, and don't feel bad about not. So yeah, it'll be a little bit more of a laid-back season for us. And we'll be back at the church at Cars Lane on the first Sunday of September, and there'll be more info about that coming up. So if you're a regular part of our community, you might like to contribute to the life of the community and things that we do financially. So there's a place to do some online giving online at our website, inclusivegathering.org.uk/give. And there's ways to kind of do a one-off gift or set up a regular standing order. And that's just really helpful for us as we kind of consider the things that we're able to do and take on in the future, and the ways that we can be generous within our community. And particularly lately, we've been spending money like setting ourselves up to be able to live stream and be flexible and have sound and all that kind of background stuff that really makes everything work. So if you're able to give, that would be great. There's obviously no pressure to do that if that's not something you're able to do, but it's great if you're part of our community and you like to do that. We'd really invite you to join in. So I think that's about it for today, isn't it, Joes?
Bye.
Before I say bye, I'm going to share the blessing that we share every week. May we live fully, may we love wastefully, and may we have the courage to be all that God has created us to be. We'll see you soon, either on Zoom or hopefully next week in Edgbaston. I'm going to say bye.